Well, I'll just continue that last sentence as I got interrupted by the end of the tape. I was saying that the chili, the Korean version of green peppers tend to taste like chilies and leave a burning sensation in your throat for 2 to 3 hours afterwards. So let's hope these green peppers are going to be all right. Anyway, I think the boys are coming towards the end of their bath, so we'll pop them on and see if they just feel like saying anything before they go to bed. I'll come along again later.
Hello everybody, Benjamin speaking. I just want to let you know that in the background Daddy's just going to dry my hair after a nice big bath. And here's some Korean words I learned out in Korea. There's Hajima, and I can count up to 10. Hannah, do the same. This is yes, look up, you do. I hope you. And Abba, Umma, Aigo, and Hajima. 안녕하세요, 여보세요, and that's all. I'm very sorry I missed out the English words for all those. Here are them. Yabaseo is hello. Yabaseo, Hajima is don't do it. Abba is daddy. Oma is mommy. Annyeonghaseyo is good morning. What else I finished?
Well, that was Ben doing his little party piece. Now, we've been trying to get Sammy here all day long. As you know, he hasn't said much up to date, and he's been in a peculiar mood most of the day, but I think at long last he's going to come and say something. He's got his teddy bear in close company. You may all remember, obviously, that he had his rabbit when he was back in England, but unfortunately, rabbit's gone astray somewhere. He's going to remain on Korean territory forever, and so Sammy has now adopted the big teddy bear, and that's #1 toy, gets carted around everywhere, and he's here as well with Sammy, and I'm sure the two of them are just going to come forward, and that's Teddy squeaking, by the way. He's just going to come forward and Sammy's going to say something. He may even sing that same little song that Ben sung this morning, Jesus Loves the Little Children. Yeah, Sammy, off we go, sugar.
Okay. Hello, Daddy. Hello, everybody. It's Samuel here. No, sorry.
Just say hello to everyone as if you were meeting.
Hello, everybody. It's Samuel here. And I'm good with my reading. I call my brothers Mummy and Daddy. I can ride my bike without stabilizers. And I can sing a song about Jesus now. I love.
Now you're getting it muddled up with I Love Little Pussy. Do you want to sing that instead? I Love Little Pussy.
I love little pussy. Oh.
Okay.
Her coat is so warm. Oh. If I don't harm her, she'll do me no harm.
Oh, that was very good. I'm sure everybody at home liked that, and they're probably giving you a great big clap now. I think that was so good. We ought to have another one.
Okay, a kiss now.
was that kiss for?
For all of people.
Whoa, we'll have to have a lot more kisses than that.
Oh, something's moving.
Oh, Sam has just gone off to play for a few minutes. I don't know whether he's going to come back at all.
Shove it.
Look, now, hey boys, this tape recorder's still on, so who's going to come up and say hello now and say something?
Me.
Come on then.
Ow. Hello everybody, Benjamin's speaking again. I'm just going to tell you about Halloween. We dress up in masks and Mummy and Daddy are going to make some suits for us to wear at Halloween. And on the 30th, it's going to be here soon. So we've got the masks already, but we can't make the clothes yet because we haven't got them yet. They're going to make them and at Halloween we go round, our school goes round to people's houses and they are supposed to give us sweets. And when they don't give us some, it means they're tricking us. That's all, isn't it?
You may remember on the last tape, I think just towards the end, I told you that Benjamin and Samuel were expecting to go round on a trip on a submarine that was calling into the Navy base. Unfortunately, there was a typhoon warning, which was the start of the bad weather that we had out here, and as soon as the typhoon warning was sounded, the submarine up-anchored and off it went out into deeper water so as to avoid the damage. So Ben and Sam were very disappointed at missing that, but a couple of weeks afterwards they had another little treat in store, which was a very good substitute, and here's Benjamin's going to tell you all about it.
Hello everybody. We went on a great big ship about bigger than these apartments. I mean bigger than them. And we went on this ship. We had to go on a little boat before we went on the big ship because it was way out in sea. So we went in the engine of it, and one of the drivers was called Mr. Lee. He was the conductor of the boat, and the boat was fabulous. We really enjoyed it, but we got a bit tired in the end. But when we came back from the boat, after lunch, we had a great big picnic. We saw a little boat taking all delicious food out to sea, right into land, and it was a delicious picnic. We really did enjoy it. Bye everybody. Hello everybody. It's Samuel here. I can swim without my armbands. We go down to the base every time to go swimming, but it's closed now, the swimming pool, and the other one's empty at the apartments. We play down at the park where the swimming pool is. That's empty with loads of leaves. And then we go up on the roof with Daddy, and we had a long walk.
Tell everyone about all the things we did on holiday.
We went on holiday and we drove on the holiday, went down to Blackbrooks. What should I say?
Cable car.
We went on a cable car and we went to a little house on the cable car and we stayed there to have drinks and something to eat. Well, it got the people and it was coming back. We went on it and went back and came back down. And what should I say?
What about down by the river when we were on holiday? Those little things in the river. Those little animals.
We saw little animals down in the river. Did the animals look like?
Little crab things that hung on those straws, didn't they?
They're like little crab things that hang on those on straws. Well, good knickers. Some people picked them up, but we didn't. We don't know what they're called. They look like little alligators.
Like little alligators?
Yeah.
Well, it's a good job you didn't pick them up. They might nip your finger.
Well, I picked them up, didn't I? I held it, one of them in my hand.
Yes, while we were up in the mountain area,
Right.
there was some, like a little freshwater lobster that was in one of the rivers near there, and we've got some photographs, in fact, of Ben holding one, and we hope to send the photographs back to you shortly so you'll be able to see and understand what they were talking about. The other thing that Ben was talking about on the boat was that there was a very large American cruiser came into the Jinhae Navy base, about 20,000 tons. It was a real whopper. And while they were there, the crew organised a trip round the boat for all the local children, and Ben and Sam were lucky enough to go along on that, so they really enjoyed that.
Hello everybody, again. We went on a walk which was very, very long. We got exhausted when we were home, and we saw a little shop, but Daddy said he hadn't got any money, but he had got a few. So we bought when Sammy was moaning for something, but I forgot what it was now. Chocolate.
Sammy had some chocolate, and what did you have?
And I had a packet of Smarties which had chocolate in. So then we went home and we saw tons of great big owls, which was funny. And Daddy met a man who I think he knows, and he stopped and had a chat while we went on walking. So when we were home, it was nearly night. We just went over to visit someone. What was her name?
Well, those new people we met today.
Those new people we met, and they were very nice. One of the little girls gave us some chocolate, which we really enjoyed. So bye-bye, everybody. Jesus. I love the little children, all of the children of the world. Cookie.
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow, black and white. They are practicing his sight. These are the little children, all of the children of the world.
That was Sammy doing his little gospel song. Because this morning, I think when Benjamin did it, Sammy wasn't really in the mood, so he just wanted to let you know that he knew it as well. Well, it's getting very near the boys' bedtime now. It's 7:10. You probably may have heard our clock on the wall been striking, and I'll tell you a bit more about that later. But in the meantime, as I say, it's very near the bedtime, and Sammy wants to read you a little story before he says bye-bye. A slight change of plan. It's Benjamin coming forward to say a few words.
Hello, Molly and Liam. We enjoyed your songs and jokes very much. We hope you liked our song very much, but I know Sammy's singing isn't very good. So I'm just throwing the scarf and necklace that we made you. Bye bye. This is a little story for Timothy about ducks. The ducks say me. The ducks swim to me. Here is the mother duck. Here comes the little ducks. Little duck. The come to me, little ducks.
And what do you think of that, everybody? That's Sammy reading a page from his reading scheme. And I think you'll all agree that he's getting on really splendidly. And that little story, as you heard, was especially for baby Tim from Sammy. Right, the boys are going off to bed now, so here comes Sammy first of all to say good night.
Good night. I hope you like our songs and reading, our songs and talking, our songs and talking. And good night for now.
Well, the two little squeaky bits at the end was Sammy giving some lovely big kisses into the microphone, and those kisses were for everybody back in England, so I hope you all enjoyed them. Now, here comes Benjamin, and he's going to say good night as well.
Night night, everybody. I'm just going to say good night to you. Night night, Molly and Liam. And baby Tim, Alan and Mel, Judith and Andy, and Gregory and Tony, and Nana and Grandad. Goodbye.
Hi there again, everybody. It's me back again. I've just been sitting here waiting for the boys to finish, drinking a Bacardi and Coke with my feet up, thoroughly relaxing. I've just realised that it's the first Sunday since we've been in Korea, which is nearly 3 months now for me, that I've had to get any meals on a Sunday, and I think I'm beginning to feel the effects. It just shows how lazy I'm getting. Anyway, I met a friend, I forgot to mention earlier, I met a friend in Busan yesterday who has a pass to the American base over there, which is much larger than the one over here. And she's invited me to a luncheon which happens once a month for the International Women's Club. And I'm very much hoping that I'll be able to join, but apparently it isn't all that easy, so we'll just have to wait and see. On the same day, I'm hoping that June will be able to take me to a material factory, which is supposed to be very good, and the material is very, very cheap there. It's extremely cheap in Korea anyway, but once you get to the factory and you buy a certain amount, you can get away with paying almost next to nothing. They also have a very good shoe factory, but the condition on buying anything in this particular factory is that one has to buy at least 10 pairs of shoes, or the equivalent of. So I must admit I'm quite looking forward to that, because I can easily spend money on 10 pairs of shoes at Korean prices. Apparently you can even have them made to measure, so perhaps a nice pair of boots would go down well. Anyway,
Something that you'll be carbuncles.
Oh, don't be so rude, Douglas. I hope you didn't hear that, because I certainly shan't repeat it. Anyway, with all the money that we should be getting back from the insurance company for our damaged goods on transit here, I'm hoping I'm going to be able to spend most of it on clothes. But I shouldn't think for one minute Douglas is going to let me get away with that. But seriously though, shoes and clothes are very reasonable out here. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to share a sew lady with a girl I know on the base, because they only cost $6 a day, equivalent to about £3 English money, and they stay there from about 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and they can knock up 2 or 3 dresses or a suit or even a made-to-measure suit for Douglas during one day. So if you can buy the material cheaply from the factories and then find one of these sew ladies, you're really made here. My Korean classes are going quite well. Douglas is now helping me out on them, which tends to take the strain away a little. I teach them on Monday and Friday, and then they come over to the apartment on Wednesday, and Douglas and I both share the lesson. They are extremely helpful to us at times, because if we have any little problems, we just ask them, and 9 times out of 10 they come up with some very good suggestions. We've had a few insect problems in the apartment since we've been here, and one of the chaps has come up with a very good spray, and since we've been using it the problem seems to be almost resolved. Anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. But several of the little Korean customs are very difficult for us to understand, and they really do act as a useful information service to us. So not only are the classes doing them good, it is also doing us good, and we're getting paid a nice little salary too. Sunday school classes are going very well. We do a little more than Sammy tends to say on the tape. I just do it once a fortnight. Benjamin and Samuel go to Sunday school about 10 o'clock, and we join the older girls and boys where we watch a little film, which is a little cartoon parable, and then they show the older version of the parable. So it's really quite a good idea and makes Sunday school much more interesting. And then after the film show and a few very simple little songs and very simple prayers, the group then splits up, and we take off the younger ones to their classrooms, and the older ones stay with the chaplain. And Ben and Sam enjoy it very much. It's very light-hearted, and it really is a good start for any sort of Christian education they might want to carry on themselves when they're older. The play school is going very well. Samuel just goes once a week, as I feel that his lessons are more important at this stage, as he would have been going to school in England at Christmas and will have no formal education here at all. So I feel that his lessons are more important than playgroup, especially when he's had 2 years of playgroup and there are so many children that he can stay at home, stay around the apartments and play with. And I know the girl very well that runs a play school. I go down there and help her once a week, when Samuel goes in fact, which isn't altogether an ideal situation, because Samuel tends to take advantage of the fact that I'm there and not settle down very well. But it's run very differently from the English play school, in as much that they seem to take it more seriously, and not so much emphasis is put on play, which I think at that particular age is necessary. Well, I don't think there's much of this tape left now, and I know Douglas has got a few more things he must say, so apart from just saying goodbye at the end, I'll love you and leave you.
Well, hello there, me again. You may recall earlier that I said something about our clock striking on the wall, and you may have heard it once or twice throughout this recording. We made some very good friends in Masan, a young Dutch couple, and they'd been out here almost a year and had obviously collected a few bits and pieces, and they had to go home very suddenly 2 or 3 weeks ago at very short notice, and they were very limited to the amount of bits and pieces that they could take back with them, and so they wanted to know if we wanted to buy any of their possessions, and they had this very nice pendulum striking clock which they'd bought out here, and they said that we could have this for about 5,000 won, which is a little less than £5. And always having a bit of an eye for a bargain, as you know, we snapped that up straight away, and that now hangs very proudly on our wall. It took a bit of getting used to, first of all, trying to sleep with it on, and I was waking up in the middle of the night hearing it striking all hours. But I've got used to that now, and we're very, very pleased with that. Now, I'm now going to attempt something which is, to my knowledge, has never ever been tried before.
That sounds interesting.
Across 8,000 miles, I'm going to try to add some pictures to this little broadcast. And what I've got some photographs here that we've taken out here and had developed. And rather than just send them to you in a bundle and you wondering what on earth they all are, I'm going to try to talk our way through them so that you can listen to the tape and look at the photographs at the same time, and you'll get some idea of what they're all about. Now, this is going to be very complicated because if the pictures get in a muddle, it's all going to sound a bit of a nonsense. So the secret is that you've got to keep the pictures in the same order that they are when you receive them, and then listen to what I'm saying as you go through them. I suppose the problem will be you probably look at the pictures before you listen to the tape and get them all in a muddle. But anyway, we'll give it a try. So, first of all, in the first picture here, you can see a couple of real potential little Olympic swimming champions in about 10 years' time, standing there on the diving board. This is the swimming pool down near the Navy base, and you can see it's really nice. Usually deserted, it's almost like having your own private swimming pool. And then in the following photographs, you can see these same two little athletes getting up to some various aquatic gymnastics, and we're very pleased how those photographs have come out with just our little Instamatic. Very nice indeed. Now, you'll then come to a photograph where you see them sitting on the swimming pool, on the diving board at the swimming pool. And if you look very carefully in the background, you'll see a couple of beauties there. There's the very slim young lady in a red costume who's the lifeguard, and then there's a very, very glamorous young lady there in a black costume. I'm not quite sure who she is. But then on the next photograph, you can see a close-up of this same very glamorous young lady, and I think must be a Miss America or something from down the base. But you can see she's posing there, very glamorous, and she's a real cracker. I'll have to get to know her better one of these days. We then got a nice little group of people here, all sitting around the table. And the two strangers in there who you've not seen before, they are the couple that I've mentioned who we bought the clock from. That's Hans and Maya. As I say, a very nice Dutch couple. We had dinner with them a few times, and we've got their address, and we hope to have some correspondence with them, and who knows, when we come back to England we may get a chance to go across to Holland and see them, and vice versa. You then got a picture that looks somewhat like a military parade, but it is indeed the out of the front of the factory during the opening ceremony. All those people lined up with the green caps are in fact the factory workers lining up in front of the stage ready for the speeches. And over to the left you've got all the VIPs sitting, and you can see a lot of the flowers and the flags there, and it was a very nice do. You've then got three young ladies who all worked in the office, and they were dressed up in traditional Korean costume, and they provided the reception desk for everybody to come in and sign the visitors' books. You can see the visitors' book there on the desk, and you can see there are three very pretty little girls. The middle one there, her name is Miss Song. She speaks very good English, and she's the one who's helped us with all our furniture and get settled in, and she answers all our problems at work. Now, the next photograph here is a photograph of Jane. It was taken very much unawares as far as she was concerned. You can probably see by the expression on her face. This was taken, in fact, in the bus as we were going off on holiday. And I believe that's probably one of the nicest photographs I've ever seen of Jane. I think that's very good indeed, and I'm sure you'll agree. The next photograph, I think we were all caught a bit unawares there. Again, we were going off on the holiday, and the coach had stopped for a bit of a break. And as I say, I don't know what quite went wrong, but we thought we'd pop it in so you could see it. The next one, just Jane and I sat at the table there on the same occasion. And again, I think that's quite a nice photograph, and Jane looks very nice there. She looks about 18, don't you reckon, Dad? Hey, isn't she a smasher? Now, also we've got some more photographs here, all taken at about the same time. The next three, various stops on our holiday. Now, I've then got a whole group of them. It starts off with the one with Jane and the boys with a great big totem pole up behind them, and then follows probably through about the next dozen photographs. These were all taken at a Korean folk village that we stopped at en route. It's a very interesting place. It covers several acres, and the buildings there are all laid out like a real typical old Korean village, and in each of the different houses there's some kind of Korean craftsman, as they were maybe a couple of hundred years ago, a blacksmith and perhaps someone making brass work, someone doing paperwork, someone making baskets, someone painting, and it was very interesting indeed. And some of those photographs are taken at that place, although they're mainly of people, some dancers and that you'll see there, and a lot of people in national costume. But that was very interesting. Now the next few pictures were all taken when we arrived up at the mountain place. I suppose about half a dozen pictures. You can see one of Ben and Sam with some old lady, and we were right up at the top of the cable car there, and you can see the kind of view that we had from there. There's one then of Benjamin building a sandcastle, and that was again while we were up there, and these mountains were very near the beach, and we had one afternoon when we came down to the beach, it was absolutely deserted. The weather was very warm, but you can see what the sea's like there and the sunshine, and that was very nice indeed. Well, you can see probably in the next three pictures there, they were taken down near a river. Up there in the mountains there's Benjamin's there with a very pretty little Korean girl who wanted a photograph taken with Benjamin. Always the centre of attraction. And then there's Benjamin there holding one of these little crab things that I spoke about, like a little freshwater lobster. He got very, very brave, and you can see him holding it up there, although I must admit he dropped it very quickly again after the photograph was taken. And then you can see Jane and the boys sitting up there on a rock. You can see the kind of weather we were having, and bearing in mind this is early October, and you can see the mountains up in the background, and I say in about a month's time they'll all be covered with snow, because it's certainly up the very northern part of the country. Now then, I think that's about the last of the holiday photographs, and you'll come on then. You should now see a photograph which ought to become a bit of a classic. This was taken before Jane came out here, and I'd been out in Korea just a couple of weeks, and we went off out on a fishing trip, and this is a picture of me and the man with me. It's not Arthur Askey, This is the guy who is my assistant production manager. So he is destined to become the production manager at CAV Sudbury. And I mean, he's not there in a fancy dress costume. This was the clothes that he came along for a day out fishing. And you can see, and I think he really thinks that he looks the part there. But he's not a bad guy. He's a bit rough and ready, but he's a little bit of a Hitler when he's talking to the people in the factory. He doesn't ask anyone to do anything. It's kind of all jump to it, and when he speaks, he expects everyone to jump. But it's not quite labour relations as we know them back home. But anyway, I suppose for the time being, that kind of approach out here will do. But anyway, I think that picture's really good. The production manager and his assistant. Anyway, coming on then, you'll see a couple of pictures of the boys taken out on our balcony. The reason I threw those in was not so much because they were particularly good photographs, but in the one of them where Sammy's got his head sticking out of the cardboard box, you can see the length of his hair, and then shortly afterwards, after they'd had their haircuts, you can see what the barber had done to them. I'm sending those really because the photographs that we had taken before and after at the barber's, for some reason they didn't come out. But anyway, they'll give you an idea of what the barber did to the boys. There's another photograph here taken in a Masan street with some elderly Korean gentleman. He seemed rather keen on having his photograph taken with the boys, and they didn't mind, so you can see there. And then the next one is a photograph of Ben and Sam one morning just before Ben went off to school with our driver. So that's our car there, and our driver, he's a very nice chap, speaks just a few words of English, and he's all geared up there, you can see in his military uniform, because out here everyone who's been in the national service is on some kind of reserve for several years afterwards, and at quite frequent intervals they have to go off and do a week's military training to keep them in trim, and do a bit of rifle practice and stab a few people with their bayonets, I think, to keep them in good trim against the next North Korean invasion, which they all fear. Now the next couple of pictures here you can see, or the next three in fact, all taken on the beach over by the Chosun Beach Hotel, which is where we had our cocktail party and reception prior to the opening ceremony. I think we mentioned in the letters, and you can see it's a very nice beach there. And again, Benjamin posing with some young ladies. You'll see the one where he's posing just by himself with one young lady in red. I think this was the kind of young lady I had in mind when I was talking about the massage in the Turkish bath. They do have these young ladies out here in some of these establishments who, when the man goes off to a barber's or something, is there to do a massage if necessary. And as I say, she's quite a nice looking young Korean girl, and old Ben must have a good choice there. And last of all, you can see there's Jane is cooling her toes in the water, and Benjamin looks a little bit frightened, but I think all in all, that's a very nice bit of beach, a nice bit of water there, and they thoroughly enjoyed themselves that day we were there.
Referring back to the photographs, I now see why Douglas has his hair cut at least once a fortnight instead of the usual once every 6 weeks, with all these additional services thrown in. But no doubt he'll come in and deny that any minute. Anyway, I'll now say my final farewells. I hope you enjoyed my 20-page letter, Judith. I really thought that was a record. But I'm sorry about all the photostat copies in the middle of it, but I'm sure you'll understand. I still haven't heard from Auntie Pam yet. I just hope everything's all right there, because it does seem rather a long time. Look after yourselves and let me know what the doctor says, Judith. And if you don't get another tape, well, we will try and get another tape to you before Christmas. But I'll say goodbye for now and all my love. Goodbye, Mum and Dad. Take care, Dad. Don't go on too many long walks. And don't keep too busy freezing, Mum. Anyway, we hope to get another tape to you before Christmas. And goodbye, Alan and Mel, Molly, Lynn and Timothy. And keep all the letters coming. Bye-bye for now.
Well, a full day has passed now since we started this tape this morning. I think it was a little before 11, if I remember when we started, and it's now 10:15 at night on the same day. And I suppose I opened and it's left for me to close up. So I'd just like to say cheerio to everybody back there in England, especially Mum and Dad. Look after yourselves, both of you. You take it nice and easy now in the winter, and you keep well tucked up round that new gas fire of yours and keep yourself nice and warm. You want to be like the squirrels and hibernate away for the winter, and then you'll be fighting fit next spring. Ellen, Mel and the children, look after yourselves all, and I think as Jane was saying, we hope to get another tape off there to you all before Christmas. And Judith and Andy and Greg and Tony, I hope you all have a nice Christmas if we're not able to contact you before, and we'll certainly all be thinking of you. And anybody else who may be listening, certainly when Christmas comes we'll all be thinking of you, and I hope you will of us. Drink a little toast to us, because we only get one day's holiday here, unfortunately. And the New Year, I'm not too sure about the New Year, whether they celebrate that. But anyway, as I say, I'd like to think you could all drink a toast to us, to absent friends, and perhaps we look forward to spending Christmas and the New Year with you all at the end of 1980. Anyway, the tape's rapidly disappearing, so let me say farewell to you all. We're all in very good health here, and we're really enjoying ourselves, so there's no need to worry about us at all. And but we're all thinking of you. Look after yourselves. Bye bye for now, and hope to be contacting you again before too long. Bye bye. Well, it appears you don't get rid of us that easily. It's now the following morning, about 6:45. I've woken up to make my usual cup of tea. There's a little bit of tape left, and Benjamin has decided he'd like to say a few last words on here.
Hello, everybody. I'm just going to talk to Molly and Liam. We've been singing really well. You do hope that we have. Like you've been singing to us, we've been singing to you. That is just talk to Jesus loves the little children. So he sang it on the tape as a special treat for you all. But when I sang it, Sammy wasn't very in the mood for doing it. So we will try to make up some jokes for you again. So bye bye for now. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. It's Sunday. Well, I hope you liked our new songs about Jesus and the children. I love little Toddsie. Because if you got little, I love little pussy, you can do it on your tape recorder. So this is
Bye bye. See you all again next
bye
year.
bye. See you all again next year. Just press that button down.
Bye bye everybody once again, and this really is the last bye bye. Bye bye. See you all again next year. All our love from Korea. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everybody. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Yeah.
Bye bye.